Two teams that push each other and get the very best of each other. They're the words of manager Anthony Johnson as Salford take on Darlington here in the final league game of the Vanarama National League North 2016-17 season. A draw or a win for Salford will guarantee a playoff spot. For Darlington, well, they're sheerly playing for pride. But what we can guarantee is that the next 90 minutes will be pure and simple, great football and entertainment. I'm Will Moorcroft. Alongside me I've got Russell Edge, and I've also got Jack alongside me, and Jack is somebody who understands the intensity of this fixture with everything that goes on. I mean, everyone said in the build-up, when we saw the fixtures, we knew there'd be something on this game, and it's how it's turned out to be, and you couldn't really ask for a better game.
It was just written to be that way, wasn't it? When you saw the fixtures and you saw that it was Salford Darlington, last game of the season, you knew it was going to be one of those games where it would be something to play for, and it wouldn't just be a nothing game. And to be fair, even if it was a nothing game, we were both in 12th and 13th, but it'd still be an unbelievable game, and hopefully that's what this afternoon's going to be.
Referee's just checking with both keepers, checks his watches, blows a whistle, and we are underway. Turnbull spreading the play to the left-hand side, looking for that tall figure of Mark Beck. So it's a throw first for Darlington. Turnbull plays back out to the left-hand side to Ferguson. Comes down in the middle into Josh Gillies. It's an offside flag there, an early call. And Salford will probably get the first touch of the ball here, but I think you can even tell that. I mean, it's only 20 seconds, but you can see that Darlington, they want to come out and they will want to win this despite the fact that they can't finish in the playoffs. Like we said, it's all about pride.
Yeah, absolutely, and it sets it up for a good game. They've come out the blocks quickly, and they're going to be going at Salford. But let's hope that the Salford players can deal with that quick start.
Lynch clears up the field, and Salford have the first throw in with both Hine and Nottingham on the pitch. Hine's going to be the one to take it. Naturally, Horsfall and Simon Grand's making the way up. Fraser Horsfall with that nearly a chance for a first goal on his first start for the club last weekend. We're hoping to do something similar here today. Just waiting for Hine to line the throw from the far side. Comes in flat in towards the middle. The keeper's punched it clear. Norris heads it back forward underneath it, but it's well cleared in the middle by Sayers. Comes down to Cartman, trying to turn his way round. Has to play it back instead, and it's free kick for Darlington. Just a slight tug on the shirt there by Salford players, so Darlington can reorganise and get the danger clear. But it didn't look like the most convincing of clearances.
No, absolutely, and I think that could be one thing that the Salford players target. Set pieces, the keeper didn't look confident. We've got a ball on the pitch. We've got two balls on the pitch. That one's a little bit bigger than the actual match ball. But yeah, it could be something that they target, and he didn't look confident. Maybe that's early match nerves. Oh, he's just scored.
Yeah, it's an inflatable ball. The party atmosphere really going at the back of those goals for Darlington, or the back of that goal. We'll also be keeping an eye on what's going on elsewhere. Obviously, this isn't the only big match today. Chorley versus Halifax. That's going to be a playoff decider. And Stockport haven't got an easy game against Gloucester. Salford clear this one, but it's brought down by Turnbull. Played out to the left-hand side to Ferguson. Ferguson down the line. Beck plays it back to him. Ferguson's continued his run. He gets there to the byline and ends up putting out for a throw to Salford. I don't think he felt confident enough to take the cross on for that position, but it's a good move by the fullback and playing the 1-2 with Beck. Obviously, his Heist's presence is what everyone's going to pick out, but he is very good with his feet as well.
He definitely is. You're talking about his presence. We saw it in the reverse fixture. He got both the goals in that game, and he is their danger man. And so it'd be interesting to see how he's dealt with in this game, because obviously in a reverse fixture he was the goal scorer. So I do wonder if there is a plan in place to deal with him a bit better today.
Yeah, twice Darlington came from behind. They came from behind here in Moor Lane last season, as they did up at their place last season as well. So they've got a very good habit of coming from behind against Salford. Probably why everyone says how they do get the best out of each other. And that game was just as frantic as any on the 4-3. Here is Cartman with the winner in the 87th minute. Nottingham heads the ball clear for now. Turnbull brings it down, but it's well won there by David Norris, stooping in to head it away. And he plays out to the right-hand side to Mike Phoenix, taking on Brown at the moment. He's got past him. Brown brings him down late on. Brown's another one of those players who's got history in this fixture. I think I'm right in thinking he got sent off in the 2014-15 season. He's one of the longer-serving Darlington players, and I think he knew what he was doing there. He knew Phoenix had got past him, and he had to make that challenge.
Yeah, it was a great move from Salford. Good, lovely and flowing, and I think it was probably the right decision to bring him down. The referee's probably not going to give him a card, and if he'd have got through, he would have been in and down the flanks, so probably the right decision. But let's see what they can do from this set piece.
Sam Walker standing over it. His set pieces in the last couple of weeks have been fantastic. Looking to deliver this from the far side. He puts it into a good area again. It's headed on by Grant, and it's off the top of the bar. Took a deflection on its way to loop over the keeper. I don't know where Adam Bartlett was. That was a golden opportunity.
What did I say? Set pieces seem to be, as they have been so far this season, a real threat for Salford. And you know, they just need an early goal, maybe settle the nerves. But it's a really good start for Salford here.
And an early corner as well. Fantastic delivery. We're saying that's exactly what you need to do. But Walker be looking to put another one in, this time from the corner from the far side. Walker goes in low towards the near post, and it's cleared by David Ferguson. Johnston keeps it alive though, plays back out to the right hand side where it's intercepted by David Ferguson. Galloping forward now, Darlington have got a man overlap on this far side. It's Nathan Cartman now on the left for Darlington, gets the ball into the top of the middle. It's well won by David Norris, who's standing in the right place, and he gets it clear. Gets in by Josh Hine. Now Salford can counter. Hine charged down the right hand side, taking on Brown, working his way into the area. Still going with it, Josh Hine trying to cut back. Brown's just done enough to put him off there, and he's won a goal kick. Salford fans behind the goal screaming for a penalty there, but would have been very soft.
Yeah, absolutely. Two great counter-attacking opportunities from both sides there. It's really setting up for a really exciting game today.
Maybe just a little bit disappointed there that Josh ran into trouble. I think he was maybe looking for the foul.
Yeah, a little bit, because I think, he seemed to go a little bit too far and was then caught in no man's land and couldn't really bring it back. Whereas, you've got Mike Phoenix sat in the area waiting for it. And, if he'd maybe looked up a little earlier, he would have seen him, him free in the box. But, it's only early and it's very end-to-end at the minute. And I think if it carries on like this, I'm not going to be able to keep up.
That suits us just fine. And the more exciting game, the better, as I'm sure you're all well aware. And I don't mind exciting, but nervous I don't mind. I don't like too much. Hine's going to fancy his chances with a throw on the far side again. He's fair way out to goal here. It's got to be a good 35 yards from the far touchline. Loops it in towards the near post. Nottingham stoop for it, but it's cleared up in the air by Darlington. Johnston battling underneath it with Stephen Thompson. Comes away with it and chips over the top. Brought down by Hine. Taking on David Ferguson now on the right side. We're down by the corner flag. Hine uses body strength to hold off Ferguson. Not really getting much ground. And Darlington have taken it out for corner. It's good work there by Hine. Used his strength. He knew that if he can get himself in that position, then he's liable to try and win something like that. And that's exactly what he's done. So far, Salford have looked good from the set pieces. 7 minutes in, still 0-0. It's filed 0 Worcester City 1. So they might win the trophy, but they'll need to win the game today to make it a good day all round. Walker now with a cross on the far side. Curls it in into the middle. Phoenix and Grant both rose for it, but again it's cleared by Darlington. Much more convincingly this time. Now it's Cartman taking on Johnston. Slips it through, looking for the diagonal run of Josh Gillies. Gillies now squares the ball over to this near side. Picked up by Chris Hunter. Plays the ball back over the top. Flicked on by Mark Beck, just too far in front of Nathan Cartman, and Lynch can collect that one quite comfortably and gets Salford going again from the back. Aiming down the middle. Phoenix underneath it again, tussling with Brown there. And that's his second one. Looked like he wrestled. Was that Hugh? I know it was Jordan. He almost looked like he wrestled him. Salford player surrounding the referee, who's reaching for his pocket. But yeah, it wasn't last week. You know this more.
Maybe they've taken a book out of Worcester's from last week. With James Hill being sent off and surrounding the ref. But it was quite a poor foul to give away from Brown there. It doesn't need to wrestle to the ground with Hume. He's still 25 yards away from goal, and there's men behind him to back him up. So it's a bit of a silly one to give away, and it puts Darlington in a bit of a perilous situation again.
And he has got himself in the book there for Gary Brown. So 9 minutes on a yellow card, That's a very long way to go in a season, in a match of this significance.
Yeah, it's looking like it's going to be a physical battle both in and around the box, and it's a long way for that to go with that yellow card. So he's walking tightrope. Got to be careful for the rest of the match, and certainly down that right-hand side where Salford have looked pretty dangerous so far from both open play and set plays. He's got to watch it, otherwise he might give away a silly foul.
Walker will again be looking to put the same delivery in. It's pretty much the same position where Grant hit the bar from earlier. Referee's just having another word here between Phoenix and I think that's Mark Beck. He's been tasked with marking his counterpart number 9. Walker though, left-footed, whips one in, flips on by Hume, feeds to Grant. Grant puts this away in the near post, and Salford take the lead. His 9th league goal of the season in the 9th minute here at Moor Lane. Salford City 1, Darlington 0.
Absolutely fantastic. Like we've said the whole game so far, set pieces have been Darlington's downfall, and they've actually just capitalised on it. Bit luck for the ball to fall to Nottingham's feet, but he's tucked it away like a centre forward there.
His 9th league goal for a centre back, that's ridiculous. You say like a centre forward, it's almost what he has been.
Yeah, absolutely. I just remember earlier in the season when he's been bursting down the flanks, and he's you expect his height. Right, Simon Grant. I thought it was Nottingham, but okay. Well, I mean, Grant's done all right too. I thought it was Nottingham there, but he's both players have been fantastic this season, and he's tucked it away.
And certainly what he deserves, the skipper. Darlington have us back underway. Like we say, Salford won't be happy to let this put to bed. Phoenix, though, dispossesses Mars into the box. Now Phoenix plays it across towards the near post. Wasn't a bit of a miscommunication. Johnson nicks off, and this time puts the ball into the near post. This time it is held by Bartlett, but he really doesn't seem at ease at the back there, Adam Bartlett.
I mean, none of the Darlington defenders do. It's been a great start from Salford, and that early goal's just going to give them more confidence to attack. I mean, just the way they're playing.
Johnson cuts inside of Turnbull there, plays it down the line to Phoenix. Phoenix now from the left-hand side into the box, onto his right foot, goes to shot, takes a deflection, and it bounces just wide to far post. But this intensity, this is incredible. This is the Salford that we all want to see.
You just, you took the words right out of my mouth there. It's what we want to see. It's what we're used to seeing, and obviously, past couple of weeks, well, past couple of months, it's been a little bit dire in terms of the way we've started it. It's not been quick enough, and teams have taken advantage of that. And in the second half, we've always started quite quickly and quite nicely, but it's nice to see it from the get-go, really.
Walker now with the corner. Salford piling men forward again. Referee's just going to bring this one back. In the second half, did you say?
What?
In the second half, did you say?
Well, yeah, normally we seem to go down at 1-0.
I don't think you're twigging what I'm getting at there. No. I'll leave that one where it is. Your voice just going a little high-pitched. Walker's going to try the corner again from the far side. Kills another good one in towards the near post. Headed up in the air by Ferguson. Keeper's come for it. Punches it. Comes back out to Walker, though. Keeper's stranded. Walker going towards the byline. And Beck puts his boot through it to get it clear upfield. And it's brought down at the back by Stephen O'Halloran. Rolling it back to Jay Lynch. Cartman's going to chase this one all the way. But Lynch gets a good boot behind it. Down the left-hand side. Mars heads it back towards Bartlett, who catches it this time. And it's really not been a good defensive start. I don't think Martin Gray will be too happy with the way that his side have started like that. 12.5 minutes gone, Salford leading 1-0, and for all it's worth, you've got to say deserved lead. Stephen Thompson now playing it back to Mars in the right back position, looking up, tips it into the middle. So just missed by Josh Gillies there as Thompson heads it on, and it rolls all the way through to Michael Nottingham, who'll bring it clear on the right-hand side over the halfway line. I'm not quite sure what he's doing there. Is that the second ball that's cleared the new stand?
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it's a good stat with that. We can keep track of it. I imagine if it's 1-0 getting towards the end, we'll see a few more balls getting cleared over that stand.
Yeah, I can imagine that Salford will be seeing how many they can get rid of. But I mean, hopefully they won't be in that position. I mean, the way they've started, they're looking like they could. There's a trip there, but it looking like they could really threaten Darlington a couple of times today.
Beck's got it on the left-hand side, playing it back into Gillies. He needs to get himself into the middle to be that target man that Salford are aware he can be. Gillies slips it through, it's picked up by Ferguson in the box now, playing it back to Gillies. Gillies right-footed, well tackled there by Simon Grant, dived in, took it away from him, and now Norris gets it to Johnston. Salford can break forward, Johnston down the left-hand side, acres of space here for the winger, taking on Mars, still going with it, cutting inside now. Amazing run, it's turning into, goes back to Sam Walker, Walker knocking it back to O'Halloran. Salford just happy to knock it around. O'Halloran's ball through the middle, takes deflection of Thompson, and Salford win themselves a throw-in. But he loves all these windy, mazy runs, doesn't he, JJ? He seems to be doing more and more of them, and you can see his confidence is back.
Yeah, exactly. His confidence has been sky high since he's come back from his loan, and he's getting his rewards in the games now, and he's really made a difference since he's come back along. It's great to see.
He's on the ball again from O'Halloran's throw. Gets it back to O'Halloran's good feet. Gets it back out to Johnston on the left-hand side. Turnbull trying to shadow him out. Goes towards the byline. Still got it. Johnston's good strength. Puts it across. Headed away by Ferguson. Nottingham heads it back out to the right-hand side. Looking for Josh Hine, but Ferguson wins that one. Gets it clear, and Nottingham's tracking back this time. Gets there ahead of Cartman and sees it out comfortably for a Salford throw-in. 14 minutes gone here at Moor Lane. Salford leading 1-0 thanks to Simon Grant. That was just as crucial interception at the other side there. And seeing that he wasn't in the running for either of the Player of the Season awards, really quite baffling, but just goes to show the level of competition in the Salford squad. The fact that it's Burton, Nottingham who've won it, Grant who's scored a lot of goals, the clean sheets he's come in, has done just as well. So another season he'd have been the clear favourite, but this season, no.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you say everything there. He's done really well at both ends of the pitch, which is, great for a centre-back, but also great to tap out the strikers when they haven't been hitting their form. To know that they've got a player at the back who will chip in with a few goals is great, but he's an unsung hero, I'd call him.
But he certainly has endeared himself to the Moor Lane faithful here. Darlington work it all the way back to Adam Bartlett. FC United Manchester 0, Gainsborough 1. Their survival challenge still very much on point. Bartlett with the clearance upfields in the middle. Turnbull loses out to Norris again. Norris with the first time ball over the top. Phoenix is in behind here. Brown careful not to commit the foul. Hume takes the touch, but he runs into Ferguson. Given away to Johnson though. Rolls it down the left hand side for O'Halloran. Thompson having to scramble back here for Darlington. O'Halloran plays it back into Johnson though. He's going to take on David Sayers into the box. Lays it off for O'Halloran to the byline. Low cross, ball back into middle. Cleared again at the back by Darlington. Getting plenty of practice at doing this. Johnson squares the ball to the right hand side. Nottingham heads it forward. No one down that channel though. And Ferguson picks it back up for Darlington. Plays it into defeated Beck, who goes down under a challenge from Fraser Horsfall. So a free kick just inside the half, and just a very subtle shove in the back there.
Yeah, just one of those ones. As soon as he felt the contact in his back, he was going to go down. He wasn't going to be able to start an attack maybe, and it gives Darlington a really good chance from the middle here, and that's something we might see for the rest of the game. Darlington making the most of their chances and making the most of the times when there is maybe a slight foul.
Gillies with the cross into box, looking for the far post. It's headed away from Beck by Nottingham, picked up by Brown though. Brown plays it in the middle into Stephen Thompson. Thompson now plays it into Brown. Brown on the edge of the box, left-footed again. He's blocked by Grant. Comes to Cartman, goes to half volley, and the referee's blowing for offside. It comes off the inside of the post anyway, but the flag's already gone up.
I mean, that was quite something. The referee hadn't noticed the linesman's flag there and saved them a bit, but to see the shot deflect off both posts, I mean, there'll have been hearts in mouths there.
And it's really the first time that Darlington have got forward. Salford back at the other end though. Mike Phoenix now down past his man. Gillies is well positioned there, but again concedes another corner, the fourth of the game for the Ammies, and the pressure really isn't relenting. Still want to keep this up. They want to get as many goals in as they can as early as possible. It's Walker again with the delivery from the far side. That's where most of the action's been, over on that right hand side. He's got plenty to aim at in the middle. Sam Walker. Salford staying tight to the byline, trying to put off the goalkeeper. Walker hoists it into the middle. Free header, it's headed away by, I think that was Chris Hunter. Out for a corner on the other side to Salford. Into the right area again, and that's one of those. If it takes a bad deflection, that could very well or very easily be an own goal. Wasn't to be this time, but it is going to be another corner from this near side for Salford on this occasion. Walker made his way over to the far side. Flat one in this time. It's just over Horsfall. It's headed on to the far side. Norris scrambles back to pick it up on the right hand side. Hoists it back in first time. Grand tries to take it first time on the edge of the area, but he does work it back to Hume. Hume stabs it out to the right hand side, brought down by Phoenix on the corner of the box, but he's tackled there by Beck. Beck gets it to Gillies, and Gillies now cutting in field, trying to bring it forward. He's stopped by Michael Nottingham, but he turns out to trouble. Spreads play over to this near side to Liam Mars. Mars now back into Gillies. He's quite a useful player. He does get his way around the midfield. If he out wide, he can play through the middle. And that's Turnbull, the Darlington captain for today, with Kev Burgess out injured. Plays it into Beck. Beck with the first time pass around the corner into Carman. Takes on his chest. Plays it back to Turnbull. Turnbull squares it across to Mars. Mars now looking up, gets out to Thompson on the right hand side. Playing it back into Mars, being shadowed by Johnston. Into Millens Turnbull. Sam Walker read that one. Got it clear ahead of David Sayers. Was back with Turnbull. Back up into Gillis. Looking up. He's thinking about the shot. Comes off the back, Forceful. Carmen sends it through to Beck. Beck puts it into the far post. And Darlington have an equaliser after 20 minutes. It's his third goal against Salford this season. And it all seemed too easy. Just a little bit too much space. And Darlington worked that one well.
Yeah, Darlington were working the ball really well, passing it around the midfield, and they just worked the ball into a really good space there. A little bit of luck, take the deflection to fall to the Darlington players' feet, but it's a great finish, and Salford can have no complaints about that one.
It was the, well, I suppose, canniness of Cartman. He was always looking to slow that one down and slip it through, and Beck had just peeled off to the left hand side and placed it into the far post, as he has done a couple of times this season. Gets himself in the right position, and he's really got a good instinctive eye for goal, to be fair to him.
Yeah, absolutely. He was a proper poacher's finisher, slotted past the keeper, and Salford will be disappointed with that. But it's the first chance that they've created, and it's the first chance that Darlington have taken, so Salford can be happy that, or maybe not, maybe they can't be happy because they've only created one and they've scored it. We'll see what happens for the rest of the half, but they could be disappointed to have conceded so early on.
And I think as well, like you say, after all the pressure, that's really the first time that Darlington have been put together more than 5-10 passes, so that'll be the slight disconcerting thing. But only 20 minutes in, 1-1 here at Moor Lane, and Grimes plays ball back forward. Hume underneath it looking to challenge Hunter for it, but Hunter gets it clear. Walker picks up in the midfield though, playing it back to O'Halloran, down the line into Johnston. Again, he's been very tightly marked here by Phil Turnbull, and O'Halloran plays it back over the top, looking for Phoenix underneath it, heads up into middle, brought down by Norris, headed into Hume, back to Norris. There's a tackle there by Sayers. The ball's played out to the near side here. Thompson gets there ahead of Johnston, gets it clear into Beck, takes a touch on his chest, headed clear by Simon Grant, and Walker gets his foot to it, plays it down the line, and it's going to bounce out to play for a throw-in to Darlington. Elsewhere, Kidderminster take the leads. They're 1-0 up against Bradford Park Avenue. Curzon Ashton 1, Boston United 0. Like I said, here at Moor Lane, 1-1 for anyone just joining us. Mars on the line looking for Beck. It's been closely guarded by O'Halloran, who's chasing it all the way back. Beck wanted Mars to come for that one. He eventually does. Gives it away to Graham though. Graham plays it back forward, where it's won by Gary Brown. Plays it into Gillis. And he's changed his position from the start of the game. He has moved more central and he's looked a lot more effective. As Ferguson made the run down the left hand side, gets past his man as well, gets crossed in, comes off Michael Nottingham. There's going to be a corner for Darlington, their first of the match. And can they look to take the lead here? Brackley 1, Stalybridge 0. Still 0-0, Stockport versus Gloucester and Chorley versus Halifax. Gillies with the corner. That's where the equaliser came from originally. Goes it in into the middle, headed clear by Hume. Not out of the area though. Walker gets his head down to it. It's out back out to Gillies on the left hand side. Gets the other cross in. Closed down by David Norris, who's closing down Turnbull. But Turnbull gets into Ferguson, back out to Gillies. Tackled by Johnny Hume. Unfairly, says the referee, and free kick to come for Darlington. Dangerous position in the left hand channel.
Yeah, it's probably the first free kick that's been in a reasonable area for Darlington. Obviously, they've had the corner, which was well defended by Salford, but it's the first dangerous free kick that they're going to have, and we'll have to see what Darlington can do from it.
So Fylde 1, Worcester 1. And Darlington just seem to have that edge of they're getting the tails up a little bit. As you can just tell by the way they're starting to knock it around. They found the footing on the game. Maybe got used to the pitch, you might say. Turnbull standing over this one on the far side. Everyone lining up in the middle. Doesn't look to be any loose men at the moment. Turnbull, right-footed, delivers it into the area. It's well caught by Jay Lynch, looking to get Salford clear quickly. Boots out of field for Johnson to chase down the right-hand side. Chris Hunter's tracking back as well. Johnson trying to knock him off, comes off Hunter. And Salford win a throw-in on the far side on the right-hand side. 25 minutes gone, still 1-1. It's also 1-1 FC United Manchester versus Gainsborough and Alfreton versus Nuneaton. Sort of one of those days, isn't it? The last game of the regular season. You expect a lot of goals to go in everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, it's end of season madness, I call it. You know, we expect to see awful defending, some wild challenges, but it's been all right here today. You know, the players have kept their heads, and they need to, because it's going to be a difficult challenge for the next 60-70 minutes, and hopefully they can do that.
Hine with the long throw into the middle, so knocked down by Horsfall, cleared by Turnbull though, back out to the right hand side. Josh Hines peeled away, picks it up, fits it into the middle. Hughes, heavy touch, heads it back forward. Beck trying to hold off Phoenix. Bartlett came for it and caught it, and deals with that one much better than he has done some of the other set pieces and balls that have been played into his box, the Darlington keeper. Now it's Turnbull. His ball forwards intercepted by Johnston. One back by Mars though. Played back forward by Sayers. Hughes free down the middle here. Heads out to left hand side to Phoenix. Phoenix brings it down. Goes for the shots over the bar. And it'll be a goal kick for Darlington. Just behind the post there for me. I don't know if you got a better view of what happened there, Russell.
No, just sort of the ball came down. He just took it first time, trying to lob it over the goalkeeper Bartlett, but you know it was a heavy shot and just sailed over the crossbar really. But good play from Salford.
Just noticed people talk about Jay Lynch being a small keeper. Adam Bartlett is particularly small.
Yeah, it's not the biggest of keepers, and I think that's what Mike Phoenix was trying to, take advantage of there as he played it first time, and it would have been a lovely goal if he'd done so. But the other option was, as John Hume not headed it out wide to him, if he'd played it straight back across to him, he was breaking into the box, and just a little bit of awareness, it would have maybe made a bit of a better outcome of that situation. But you could see what he was thinking.
Just a little bit of inconsistency there, I dare say, from the referees. A slight shove in the back on Jordan Hume, to say the least, from Gary Brown. Ref gives nothing. Nottingham then does the same to Marbeck, and it's a free kick for Darlington. Just inside the half. Turnbull displays it into the middle, looking for Beck. Lynch can gather that one quite comfortably, and certainly an element's calmer with that one. Lynch clearing the ball at field, out towards the right-hand side. Hume stoops for it, it's picked up by Josh Hine. Scored in this fixture last season, Josh Hine. He's only got 3 goals this season in the league. But he's certainly had his effective moments. Phoenix on the right-hand side now, looking to get past Hunter. Wins the throw, again for Salford. And this is where Hine can come back into his own. I think saying to you, he's disappointed with his goal haul for this season, but he was saying it was more about the team.
Yeah, I mean, quite a few of the attacking players have said that this season, that they've wanted to perform better, put some more goals away, but they're not overly bothered about it. They're not losing sleep about it. As long as
Hine, long into box, it's flicked on his far post. Phoenix, it's a great save there from Bartlett. Off the line, diving low to his right-hand side. Phoenix with his head in his hands. He'll be wondering how that one's not gone in, but all credit there to the goalkeeper.
Yeah, he certainly made up for his previous lack of confidence there. Great stop, and maybe that's why they've picked him in net. He might not be the tallest, he might not be the most confident with balls in the box, but when it comes to keeping the ball out of the net, he's done a fantastic job there.
That was almost a dead cert for Salford to retake the lead.
It definitely wasn't. You take nothing away from the goalkeeper. It's a great save, but you do wonder would that have happened if
Phoenix on it again, plays it into Hine. Hine plays it back into middle, takes the deflection off Hunter, comes down to Johnson on the edge of the box. He's tackled by Turnbull there, and Gillis picks up for Darlington on the edge of the box. Half an hour gone, still 1-1 here at Moor Lane. Turnbull with the ball out to the left hand side. Picked up by Ferguson. It's a loose ball into middle. Sayers did well to get it back to Gary Brown in the end. As brought down by Liam Mars on the halfway line. Plays it into Thompson. Well tackled there by David Norris, using his experience to dispossess the former Vale winger. Hume loose out there to Hunter. I think he was looking for a foul. And Hunter's clearance is closed down by Norris. He's really putting himself about in the midfield there.
Yeah, absolutely. He's winning the ball back, stopping the Darlington attacks, and it's been it's an all-action performance from him. But it's good to see because it means that the desire and the passion's there to really stop the Darlington attack.
Throw comes in from Mars. Again, Norris underneath it, lose out to Turnbull this time. He gets it clear. It's picked up by Michael Nottingham though. Brackley 2, Stalybridge 0. Hine heads it forward into Phoenix, back towards goal. Goes down under pressure from Gary Brown, a little bit soft there maybe. And a free kick resulting in a very dangerous possession here, maybe 5 yards outside the area, very central, just inside the right-hand post maybe. So good chance of having an attempt on goal.
Absolutely. I mean, let's see what they can do. So far set pieces have been whipped into the box, but this is the first one that looks like it's going to be put direct on the keeper, and let's see how confident he is when the ball's shot at him. It's going to be an interesting one and a real sighter for Salford here.
Well, Samu's standing over it, and you won't be surprised if he's going to try and aim for the top right-hand corner in this one. Both Horsfall and Grand are standing in the way, Bartlett. They don't even need to jump to block him there.
No, I think they're just there to cause a bit of an inconvenience and wind him up, which, we've seen Sam and Grant do that all season, and has it paid off yet? Well, I don't think we haven't scored that many free kicks this season, have we?
I think it really got on the nerves of Filed away. Yes. We'll see what Walker can do with this one. It's going to be left-footed. Darlington got a 4-man wall at the top of the box. Walker strikes it into the wall. Norris trying to win the follow-up, but it's cleared by Sayers. And Cartman's turned past his man, and Darlington have got the break on here. Cartman keeps it alive, playing it out to this right-hand side. Stephen Thompson's got there. He's kept it down well. He's taking on Stephen O'Halloran now. Thompson tries to go through his legs, well positioned there, and that's a great follow-up challenge, take it away from Liam Mars, and it does come to Mike Phoenix on the halfway line, tackled by Chris Hunter, and it's a throw-in for Salford. But that's fantastic defending from Stephen O'Halloran, and you can see why it's such a dilemma for the Gaffers. Do they leave Halley in or do they put Paddy back in, because neither really made too many mistakes.
No, not at all. They both played very, very well, and it's nice to see, O'Halloran, he knows what the club's about, and he's very, very committed, and those sorts of tackles are what you're expecting to make.
Hume closes the ball down in the box. Phoenix on the edge of the area now, trying to get through. Goes towards the byline, pulls it back across. Brown got his body in the way there, bobbled up, and Darlington do get this one clear. Nottingham trying to keep it alive though, heads it into no man's land on the right hand side, and Darlington bringing it away. Norris with a shove in the back there, but the referee lets Darlington play advantage. They waste that one, and it comes out for throw soft on this near side. O'Halloran looking to take it quickly. Goes into Johnston. Johnston playing the ball again over the top, down the channel, and it's into the area and picked up by Adam Bartlett. But 32 minutes gone, and still 1-1 here at Moor Lane, and as we anticipated, it's been a very entertaining game so far.
Yeah, absolutely. It's what we wanted, and it's what the fans wanted. It's probably not what the players wanted. The players probably wanted a nice, quiet day and an easy victory or an easy game, but it's not what it's been. And we've got
Thompson on the edge of the box, goes past Grant, goes to Chips, attempt, well caught there by Jay Lynch. He was just dipping onto the bar that one. He attempted to say that one was in target. It made Jay Lynch think about it, and he read it well and showed his worth for Salford there. Yeah,
absolutely. It seemed to be an easy one, but a sighter for Darlington. Test the keeper's awareness, test his mettle there, and just see what happens if they do test him with a variety of different shots. That's the thing, not just ones along the ground or powerful shots, but chips and other finishes.
Hine with another long throw from the far side. Salford get themselves back at the other ends quite rapidly. And we're looking to get this ball into the box. Just over 10 minutes to go till half time. Hine Loops in towards the near post, looking for Nottingham. Gillis got there first. It's not quite gone out to play. Has now, as Gillis tried to bring it down on the follow-up, under pressure from Nottingham. And it will be another corner, 6th of the game for Salford. And they really have tested Darlington. Defence has stood up well so far. They have had a couple of chances. And it comes from Walker. Goal in. Into middle, Grant at the back post. He rose above Hunter for it. Referee saying it comes off Hunter, out for another corner to Salford, which the fans behind that goal aren't too happy with, but the referee's got a hard decision to make there.
Yeah, absolutely. It's one of those ones where it's come off probably 2 players at once, and he's had to make the decision, and he's probably made the right decision there.
Walker with the second corner, quickly taken. Grant again stooping for it. And that's another corner. Hunter's probably got more reason to be not too happy with that one. There's definitely 6-1, half a dozen of the other shirts being pulled from what we could see. But not complaining with the corner. It's Alfreton 1, Nuneaton 2. And Walker with a 3rd corner in succession. And as Jack rightly says, every man back for Darlington. Walker goes high this time towards the back post. Nottingham rose for it. And this time it was Nottingham who made contact. And it's out for a throw-in to Salford. Really can't work this one out, but hey-ho. Josh Hines going to make his way over for this one. And just give Darlington something else to think about from the other side this time. And Hines with significantly more room to run up on this side. Moving out of the way of the subs. Quite close to the byline. Hine goes in, looking for Humes. Flicked on, comes to Johnston, back into Hume. Hume looking to get on his right foot. Crowded out by black and white shirts there. And it's eventually cleared by Mark Beck. Gets out to the right-hand side to Stephen Thompson. Johnston getting back and getting his foot in to concede the throw-in on the halfway line. Doing his defensive job there, tracking Thompson back. Thompson has got the pace. And Johnston may be one of the only players on the pitch who can keep up with it. Thompson plays back to Mars. Mars with the ball over the top. Horsfall watching onto his head. Gets it clear. And Norris heading it on into Hine. Takes on his chest and plays it up into the air when he had a lot more time to do something with that. Forces Gary Brown to concede the throw-in, but I'm not quite sure what Josh is doing there or what he's thinking.
No, it was kind of just didn't seem to think about it at all, and it's quite a rash decision where Norris heads the ball onto him, and then Norris peels off him and starts to make the run infield. And really, the easiest ball for him to make there was set the touch down and play it back into Norris's feet as he's carrying on the run. But it's a bit of a wasted opportunity.
It might just be down to spatial awareness. I'm not sure if he knew that he had so much space around him. You couldn't blame him for thinking that. Darlington do press quite significantly, quite highly. But maybe just a bit more communication there needed. Hines now throwing duties from the far side. Salford got men forward. Hine goes in, gets it into the box. It's played on, it's the back of the net. I really don't know who's going to claim that one. It might be an own goal, But Salford won't care. Salford lead 2-1 here at Moor Lane.
It's another set piece that's just come off for Salford, but I couldn't tell you who that just seemed to come in off the throw-in and bounce into the net. I couldn't tell you whose goal it was there, but they've capitalised on another set piece.
Well, it's the set piece dilemma, isn't it? Get it into the right area, and someone might make a mistake.
Salford City was an own goal by Darlington's number 6, Gary Brown.
Yeah, it's been credited as a no goal. It had to be a no goal by someone because I wasn't really a red shirt around it. And well, we were saying earlier, weren't we? A no goal is quite likely, and there we go.
There we go. I mean, I think they've got to feel a bit unlucky there, Darlington. It was just a really, really dangerous throw-in, but they look like they're going to come straight back on the attack there.
Well, 2-1. Salford know how dangerous the league can be in this game, and they're hoping to keep things tight at the back. 8 minutes to go till half-time. Nottingham with the throw from his own half, cleared this time by Darlington. He follows that one up, goes down the line. He's going to drift out for a throw into Darlington, but a chance to try and pen them in that left-back position. Chorley 0, Halifax 1. I suppose that's good the way things are going. Horsfall heads ball clear on the halfway line, almost bouncing for Gillis, but Grand gets a foot in, gets it clear upfield where Ferguson heads it back forward. Size in the middle. Nottingham again heads it. It's a bit of head ping pong at the moment. Hume battling with Gary Brown. Darlington run throw in. Brown taking it quickly, goes up the line, well brought down by Beck. Flicked on by Walker. Norris underneath it. Gets his foot underneath it. Goes down the line. And I think that was 2 Salford players offside there. Neither of them willing to touch it. Hynam Phoenix, but forced a mistake out of Darlington. And this is really unlike Darlington. They don't really make mistakes like this.
No, it's quite strange to see in a way. You know, they're normally quite a compact and organised side, especially defensively. And as we've seen in recent weeks, they haven't really conceded that many goals. And like sort of all the teams like we do, you know, they pride themselves on keeping clean sheets and putting in solid performances at the back. But it does seem to be a little bit rattled this afternoon, and don't really have much of a clue of how to deal with the likes of, you know, John Hume and Mike Phoenix, because those two at the moment are all over the pitch. And one second you played against Phoenix, then 2 seconds later John Hume's running at you, and it is tough to deal with. And it's nice to see those two, they're up for it today and they're wanting to make a difference.
Well, Hume putting himself about. He's won so from another corner at the back there. Walker again putting down. It's the 9th of the game already. Walker goes it in. Good one into the middle. Horsfall's underneath it. Nottingham shot for 3-1. No doubt about that one. Horsfall poured it back across, and Michael Nottingham in the middle. That's also his 9th league goal of the season. Phenomenal for the fullback. And this is exactly what we said we needed to do. Great response there.
Yeah, absolutely. It's another set piece. I mean, we've said it all game, and you know they've dominated in the Darlington box there. And you know, with Michael Nottingham's height, he was never going to miss that chance. He towers over most of the defence, and he's put it away with a very, very clever header.
And a clever header as well from Fraser to head it back across. He was maybe thinking of going to goal, but in the end brought it back across. And again, the keeper is just stranded in no man's land.
Yeah, he's looked really unconfident from set pieces, and when the ball's been whipped into the box or floated into the box, and you know, maybe that's a height issue. And you mentioned it earlier, Will. His height, he's not the tallest of keepers, so maybe he's not so confident with balls into the box.
Salford still looking to come forward though. Mike Phoenix backing into Hunter, headed back by Mars. Brown clears it up in the air. It's not very convincing there, but he sticks his foot out in front of Jordan Hume, and it's out to the right hand side where Nottingham's going to let it go for the throw in. I was literally just about to come to you and say, interesting what you say about clean sheets. Obviously that's been a thing in their play for the last 2 seasons, but this season it's 1, 2, 3. It's only 7 in 42 games compared to Salford's 18, so they haven't had the edge.
No, and you know, they did seem to do a thing at the moment this season, just outscoring their opponents, which does work. But you know, it's more.
It's a very dangerous tactic, though, isn't it?
It's a very dangerous tactic, and it's less reassuring than keeping clean sheets.
It's now Kidderminster 2, Bradford 0, File 2, Worcester 1, and here at Moor Lane it's 3-1 to Salford. Hines got another long throw in, very deep in the half. Goes in, again towards the near post. It's Brown, flicks on into the middle. Johnson fancied his chances, but he skewed that one right. Hine at the edge of the area, drills it into the middle. Grant, good tackle, wins it. Still not clear for Darlington. Comes back to Grant, now Nottingham, back to Johnson. Johnson wanted to try and place it in the top corner. Didn't quite get the execution or the lift on it, but good play from Salford. And Grant again in the box there, making the tackle. I mean, you don't make a tackle like that unless you're defending. But he just seems up for it. He wants to do that.
He wants to tackle all over the pitch, doesn't he? You know, he's had an excellent game so far at the back and out up front as well. But the Darlington defence look all over the place when the ball comes into the box, and you know, it could be 4 or 5 here today, I think.
Ball over the top. Phoenix flagged offside this time. Interesting you should say that. I was chatting to Craig Dootson before the game. And just saying about how he thinks it's going to go. Salford's goalkeeper goes. She's saying if we can get one early on, then it could quite easily conceivably be 5 or 6. However, 3-1, Jack, a very familiar scoreline.
It is, you know, it was 3-1 in this exact game last season, and look how that one ended. So, you know, still a long way to go yet, and you know, a couple more goals would be nice. A bit more of a cushion.
I mean, there have been changes to the team, but do you think that'll be on the minds of the players, or do you think that's not something they'll have thought about or looked at? Because I know that the gaffers certainly haven't looked at the history's fixture, really. They've been focused on, right, lads, you know what's at stake in this game.
Yeah, I think there is a case of, it's a big game. We need the 3 points. But I did think about this before the game. Obviously, Billy Priest is back from his suspension, but he's only on the bench this afternoon. It's Fraser, who's come on loan, doesn't necessarily have like the emotional connection that Billy would do in this game. And sometimes, if you get too emotionally involved, you start making rash decisions, rash challenges, and making mistakes. Whereas Fraser's completely new to it, and at the moment, it seems to be working fairly well.
Darlington trying to conjure up a comeback here. Gillies on the left-hand side. Plays back to Turnbull. Turnbull looking up and getting the cross into the box. O'Halloran watched that one well, and he came for that one. Johnson's going to run on the overlap. Phoenix has gone back for it. Free kick for Salford. Foul there by Liam Mars, pulling his shirt. And at the moment, the game management seems to be working.
Yeah, absolutely. They've really stopped Darlington from playing the game that they want to. The one time that Darlington did get it around the pitch and start passing, they scored. But Salford have done really well to stop that. They've been all action and all around the pitch, not just in the midfield but up front as well.
O'Halloran still waiting to take this free kick. Half time, Alfreton 1, Nuneaton 2, in Tamworth 0, Altrincham 1. Interesting. Ball forwards headed clear, picked up by Norris though on the left hand side, rolls it into Jordan Hume. It took a bobble on its way into the area, but Hume still picked it up, played it back out to O'Halloran. Went to another corner, 2 minutes at a time signalled at the end of this first half, and a 10th corner of the half for Salford. Half time, Bratley 3, Stalybridge 0. As Walker makes his way up to take this corner.
2 minutes at a time.
It's 2 minutes to negotiate. Walker places the ball down. Salford body slowly making the way forwards, a little bit more of a defensive edge here. Walker goes in towards the near post. Horsfall came for it. Bounce out to Johnston though. Johnston back out to Walker on the left hand side. Hooks it into the far post, looking for Grant. Slightly too high for him. And goes out over on the far side for a throw in to Darlington. But what's it do for the half-time team talk when it's leading 3-1?
I think it'd be more about game management more than anything else. Making sure that this lead, we keep hold of it, and they'd be very, very wary of last season and being at this stage, and being 3-1 up, and obviously it went to pot.
Norris plays it forward down the right hand side, looking for Phoenix. First time back into middle. Hine making his way into the area. Bartlett came out for that one and caught it at his near post just before Hine could get there. And again, he makes those late runs into the box. We've seen that in the last few weeks where he just about gets there ahead of the keeper, or the keeper just about beats him to it. But it's the running that counts there. Try and put the keeper off, and you never know what chance you will get. Hunter plays it into Turnbull in the middle. It's probably about 30 seconds left as first half. Salford leading 3-1 here at Moor Lane. Cartman lays off Thompson. Thompson ball down the middle. Grant watched that into his possession. Gillis is right behind him. Johnson's won the throw in off Gillis, and that should be enough to run the clock down in the first half. So with that in mind, how would you sum up that first half?
Positive, a really positive half. Salford, it's been everything they've wanted and more. They've got the 3 goals, which has been excellent. They've dominated from set pieces, and they can be very happy with what they've produced.
And there is the half-time whistle. Simon Grant giving Salford the leads. We're back underway. Salford kicking left to right. Walker up over the top to Brown, and Brown plays it out. You know what I've just thought? They're the first goals that have gone in at that end, aren't they?
Yes. Yeah, but Salford goals anyway.
Yeah.
Yes.
Since the stands have been built there, the first 3 goals have gone up there, which is certainly something. And ironically, it's when our fans are shoved into the far corner and all the way along.
Yeah, you know, there's some unfortunate players. You know, there's the precautions taken to put Darlington into one end. But you know, now it seems that the jinx is broken at that end, and hopefully there'll be many more to come.
Well, better late than never. Nottingham with the throw-in goes up the line. Won by Walker, comes to Johnston in the middle, chips over the top first time, looking for Phoenix's run, gets there ahead of Brown, who goes down in a tumble, gets up though and recovers to get the second ball in clear. Cartman turns past Nottingham, but Nottingham gets his body in the way, and it's a free kick, no advantage there after a foul by Phoenix on Gary Brown. No changes for either side at half-time, so teams as they are, we'll go through them when we get a minute to. And Adam Bartlett still on the pitch for Darlington. Notice Edward Chinsky, the backup keeper for Darlington, was going through a considerable warm-up. Bartlett plays out to right hand side, flicks on by Thompson, cleared by Salford though. Hugh flicks it on into Phoenix, backing into Brown here, tugging his shirt there. Referee's not given that one. And Phoenix works out to Johnson on the left hand side. Johnson plays it down the line. Hugh making the diagonal run, can't quite keep that one in, clears it out into the stands, and it'll be a goal kick for Darlington. So as promised, those teams, Jay Lynch in goal, Michael Nottingham, Stephen O'Halloran, Simon Grant and Fraser Horsfall across the back 4. Horsfall keeping his place, he's got an assist, Grant's got a goal, as has Nottingham. In midfield, John Johnston, Josh Hine, Sam Walker and David Norris, who's been outstanding in the first half. And up top is Jordan Hume and Michael Phoenix. On the bench, Billy Priestley, Brad Barnes, Craig King, Nick Horton and Richie Allen. Which of those are going to be the ones to come on? Not that Salford need to, but as we're saying, Salford's game management this season maybe hasn't been as good as it should be. We'd expect it to be.
Yeah, you know, you sort of expect it to be a little bit better, especially from being in, you know, leading positions. But from what we've seen today, you know, it seems to work quite well, and you know, give a lot of praise to David Norris in the midfield. He's quite big boots to fill with Scott Burton out missing today. You know, he's doing quite a good job at it. He seems to be everywhere.
Balls back with Lynch in the goal. So a quick run through the Darlington lineup. Adam Bartlett in goal, Liam Miles, David Ferguson fullbacks with Hunter and Gary Brown, who scored the own goal in the middle. So Phil Turnbull, the captain, alongside David Sides, with Thompson and Gillis out wide, and Mark Beck and Nathan Cartman up top. Here is Ferguson now, trying to break down the left-hand side. He's tackled by Michael Nottingham. Turns back in field and plays it into Norris. Chip ball over the top first time, and Brown palming away Jordan Hume, who's gone down on his face. That was a soft one, I have to admit myself there, and a little bit naughty maybe, trying to get Jordan sent off. He stayed on the ground, and no one's put it out yet. Play's still going on. Eventually the referee has stopped it. And, well, Russell, what did you make of that one?
It just looked like the Darlington defenders spread his arms across his face, and you know, it might be soft. Maybe he got a slight elbow, but not enough to warrant the reaction. But you know, I wouldn't doubt him. You know, head injuries are serious in the game, and the medical staff are on, so we can't take chances.
I've got to say, you might agree with me. I'm not sure I agree with Jordan on that one.
Yeah, yes and no. It's, you know, it's one of those things. It's, you know, it's annoying when it's done to your team, but then you don't really mind it when it is your team that it happens to. But as well, Jordan doesn't really want to stay down. You know, so he must have taken a slight knock, but he maybe slightly made a meal of it, and it's. You do wonder if it's because Gary Brown is on a yellow card and has been since the 9th minute of the game.
Perhaps, you have got to say, if there's one word to describe Jordan, canny might fall under that one. Either way, Phoenix plays it back into where the stand is being constructed. So it'll be a free goal kick for Darlington. Interestingly enough, it looks like there are fans standing actually in the construct, which I'm not sure what they're meant to do. The police don't seem to be bothered.
Quite an interesting
I really don't get that. Why would you want to stand there? But Hume picks it off Brown, plays it down the right-hand side for Phoenix. Phoenix plays it back into middle. Hume right-footed. Good save by Bartlett. Follow-up. Comes back to Bartlett and he saves it there. Hume almost linking up really well with Phoenix there. He puts it into the right area. Bartlett did very well, though, just as good to get down and block him, not once but twice from the follow-up.
Yeah, cat-like reflexes there, well done, but I think it was a bit easy to read. He was always going to go across the keeper into that far post, so the keeper got down early and saved it well. Firm wrists to not allow it to fall to a Salford player, but maybe not the best finish in the world, and they'll be disappointed because that really could have settled the game.
Like I say, his height might not be one of his best attributes, but certainly his reactions are. Norris plays it down, Brown just gets a touch, but it's still conceded to Phoenix, who makes a mistake himself. Then another mistake, and Phoenix picks it up again, gets past Brown. Phoenix pulls it across, Hume in the middle, dispossessed, it's still not gone out. Phoenix is chasing this one down on the byline, he's going to let it go forward to throw in, but another chance there for Jordan Hume. And Jono just with his hands on his head there, I think that probably says it all. High with the long throw, anyway, to come. It's down very deep, down by the corner flag. And, well, Harnaby looking to get this one in. Salford again got a lot of men forward. Hine goes low. Hume this time again gets his head to it. Punched off the line by Bartleson. 4 chances in the space of a minute. One of these has surely got to come for Jordan.
Well, absolutely, but it was the goalkeeper was well positioned there. He knew that the ball was going to be reaching about the near post. It was a great header, and he just punched it away behind for a corner. But these set pieces are mounting up, and Darlington are going to be feeling the pressure.
And corner this time to come from Sam Walker. The first of the second half goes into goal position. Horsfall at the back post. Horsfall is first goal for Salford. Salford City 4, Darlington 1. And this is turning into another one of those very, very memorable afternoons here at Moor Lane. Horsfall with a goal that he should have had last week, and he's got it this week.
Yeah, you know, he was unlucky to be denied last week. But, you know, he's done very well there. He's quite a presence in the box, and, you know, it's a good header there.
And his first goal for the club and only his second appearance, and he's justified keeping his place this afternoon, Fraser Horsfall. That's a great header from a centre-back.
Yeah, absolutely, and, you know, it's another defender that scored. I mean, O'Halloran's going to be feeling a bit left out. He's going to be wanting to get on the score sheet now, but, yeah, another great header, and another set piece that's gone Salford's way. That, you know, they've just made the most of it this match, and you know, the game looks out of sight for Darlington.
Yeah, I never thought about that. Halley's the only defender who needs to get a goal in this one. Darlington, meanwhile, are making 2 substitutions. First one, Josh Falkingham coming on in place of Turnbull. And the other one is Leon Scott coming on for David Sayers. So a complete change in the midfield there. And I don't know if that's reactive or proactive from Martin Gray to get back into this one, or try and stem what seems to be certain Salford dominance.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why they feel the need to change the midfield. The midfield's not where the goals have come from. It's been when Salford have got the ball down the other end and earned a set piece of sorts. But, you know, I mean, maybe he's just looking to control the game a bit more, get some fresh legs on, and keep the pressure on the Salford players, because, you know, like we said at the start of the game, Salford, Darlington even, have only got pride to play for, and they're not making their fans very proud right now.
We're saying it's quite ironic, since the initial announcement that Darlington might not be able to be in the playoffs, they had actually gone on to win all of the games, and at the moment, well, they seems to be a little bit of end of season syndrome from the Quakers. O'Halloran on the ball is closed down there by Stephen Thompson. But if anything as well, that's really got the fans up in fine voice behind that goal, and really silenced the Darlington fans. Yeah,
I mean, the Darlington fans were in good voice at the start of the match, you know, even despite their side slow start. But it's great to see the fans singing and making a lot of noise here at Moor Lane. It's what it deserves, especially with the new stands.
Phoenix won the ball on the far side, still a battle to try and get out of that corner. Darlington get it clear into Cartman, tackled by Walker, plays the ball over the top first time. Phoenix with a foul there. at the back on Chris Hunter, so it'll be a free kick for Darlington. File 2, Worcester 2. Worcester desperate to avoid relegation, desperately trying to do the best to spoil File's day. It's also FC United Manchester 2, Gainsborough Trinity 1. Here comes the free kick from Darlington. Bartlett clearing it upfield down the middle, flicked on by Beck, looking to go through the middle. Cartman blocked off. Lynch comes to that one, goes down to the grounds, and as you'd expect, it'll be like that for the rest of the afternoon. Just trying to slow play down where you can there. It's still a very long way to go. It's only 10 minutes gone in this second half. Salford leading 4-1, so you can't be too early, but certainly any little advantage you can get, you're going to take.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, yeah, it's not quite time wasting, but it's as close as you're going to get.
Hyde picks the ball up after a loose ball in the box, goes to the near post, tipped round by Bartlett, and another corner for Salford, but they're not done yet. They're really not done yet in this one, and it's incredible to see, and what a big boost it would be going into the playoffs.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you want to be the form side going into you want to be the home side going into the match, and it's into the playoffs even, and it's going to be really good if they can get even more and maybe even get some more players on the score sheet.
Walker again with the corner from this near side. Goes towards far post, Nottingham coming in. Bartlett stretched well and he caught that one ahead of Nottingham, gets it clear upfield quickly, and there's nobody up there for Darlington, so it's going to roll its way all the way back through to Jay Lynch. Now let's shake this one up a little bit. Stockport 1, Gloucester City 0. So see what that's doing at the moment. That puts Stockport ahead of Chorley, and at the moment Stockport are back in the playoffs, having been pegged down back to 8th at half time. Thus how changeable this one is, but Salford, all they can do is draw or win. Better both of those results and they're in, and they're certainly doing that at the moment. O'Halloran gets ball back off Johnston, crosses it in, cleared by Mars, comes back to John Johnston on the left hand side though, taking on Mars, going towards the byline. Mars commits himself, good tackle from Leon Scott. Johnston trying to pick the ball back up. Mars gets his body in the way on the byline, stabs it out to the right hand side, and Gillis eventually does get it clear for Darlington. Ball down by Beck. Beck plays it in the middle into Cartman. Great tackle there from Norris, who read where the pass was going, made the interception, and Grant at the back gets it clear. Headed back forward by Mars. Ball down by Gillis, but he's tackled by Sam Walker. Horsfall's let it run. Gillis is on him in a flash though. Horsfall scraps it back to Lynch, and Lynch gets it clear for Salford. Eventually just needs to keep his head, the youngster, on loan from Huddersfield Town. Norris batting with Scott for it. He's won the free kick as well, and free kick for Salford, and rather cheap one there from the Darlington midfielder to give away. Yeah, I mean, we were just talking about bringing some fresh legs on and trying to control it, but Salford did well there to earn the free kick, and you know, it just settle the game down, give them a bit of a breather after a pretty frantic few minutes, and you know, it just sets Salford up nicely for the rest of the game. So hello to those of you listening to us in Florida. Apologies for the connection problems, and a hello to everyone else listening everywhere else. Of course, thanks for your support. It's always much appreciated. Glad to know that people over the world are interested in what's going on here. Shame you couldn't be here, because it really is a great afternoon. Another corner for Salford, 13th of the game. I think this has got to be a record for the season, for us at least. Oh, came through a ball over the top, headed behind by Gary Brown. Had to do that, there wasn't really much else on. Walker again to take the delivery. Lost it in again towards the back post. Bartlett again came for it, could only punch this one. Walker's got to make his way over to the far side. They looked at rather begrudgingly there, thinking, I'm going to have to go over, aren't I?
Yeah, it's a slight sigh of, do I really have to go all the way over there to take another corner?
Do you think he's getting sick of them at the moment?
Yeah, slightly, but it's you know, it's good practice for him, and you know, each delivery seems to be getting better and better in a way, and with the way that we're performing from corners at the minute, we seem to be doing all right.
Walker made his way over now, steps back, floats it in. Nottingham comes all the way to Hume at the far post. Hume goes to the half volley and just narrowly over the top. He's getting closer. That one wasn't on target, but he found the room and he got the shot off, and surely one of these is going to come on soon. It's a different set piece for Salford. You know, it's instead of being driven into the box, it was a floated one. Found its way to Hume, and you know, it's a decent shot, just a little bit too high. Bartlett with the free kick. Goal kick rather, flicked on by Beck, cleared by Salford. Hume is onside here, he's got it behind from the left hand side, needs an option in the middle. Jordan Hume just slowing things down. He's got his back to goal at the moment, plays it back to Johnston, who's coming in the corner of the box now on the left hand side, going towards byline. Johnson still going, comes to Phoenix, cleared by Gary Brownlow, he's taking over the captain's armband, and he clears it to Walker. Walker knocking it back into Nottingham. Nottingham trying to cross the ball to the far side. Hume keeps it in. Thompson marking closely. And Sam's got another corner to take. That's 15 now. But this is really good pressure. And in terms of game management, Salford are exactly where they need to be.
Yeah, absolutely. They're pegging Darlington in on their box. They're not allowing them to get the ball. They're not allowing them to sort of move up the field with the ball. And even when they're not attacking, they're working hard to earn the ball back, and these corners are going to mount up and create something.
Walker again with the outswingers, flicked on, comes Hume again at the far post. There's a foul in the middle there, Horsfall on David Ferguson, I think it was, so the free kick's come for Darlington. We've now hit the hour mark, that's 61 minutes, Salford 4 and Darlington 1 here at Moor Lane. Salford doing all that they've got to do. They're up into 4th at the moment, and at the moment a very juicy tie against Halifax would be the one that's waiting.
Yeah, I mean, that would be a really great fixture, not just for the players but the fans as well. Both sides have really performed well this season, and that's why they're where they are in the league. But let's wait and see, all can change in football.
Walker knocks it down to ground, cues the ball out to the right hand side. Josh Hine chasing this one down against David Ferguson. Lost a little bit of steam, he's done well to get there. Josh Hine plays back to Nottingham, looks up, thought about playing it back to him, and then took Josh Gillis out of the game, tried to nutmeg him. Commits the foul there on Chris Hunter, I think that is. Or is it Ferguson? That's Ferguson. So he had to do that one, concedes a free kick. And the necessary ones from Nottingham, but galloping forward, they're really not done here. You can see the way that Hine's still running, the way that Nottingham's still running, the way that Johnson, that Phoenix, everyone's still battling. It really is like it's unfinished business from last season. Stephen Thompson on the right hand side for Darlington though. Have they got way back in? Puts a good cross in, headed clear by Horsfall. Mars heads it back forwards, but Walker gets it clear. And Jordan Hume on the left hand side now. Plays back to Johnson. Touch over the top. Phoenix will chase this one against Brown. He gets there on the left hand touch line. Knocks it through well to Johnston. Johnston just needs to pick out Hume in the middle here. Gets it across. Josh Hine's coming in though to pick the follow up on the right hand side. Hine now, plenty of time to get the cross in to the far post. Phoenix underneath it, but Brown gets his head to it, heads out. It'll go for the throw in if Brown can't prevent it. I don't know how, but Darlington have won the throw. A little bit of afters there between Phoenix and Brown. Sure, referee's got to sort out, but it'll be a throw for Darlington at the very least.
Yeah, I mean, it's on the far side of the pitch. I can't exactly see what's happened over there. It looks like he's kicked out or something. A little bit of afters, but nothing really malicious there. We've got Allen coming on.
And that's the last moment of the game for John Johnson. He's been replaced by Richie Allen. And Allen's certainly one of those who want to come on and make an impression. He's saying in today's programme he's buzzing to have got his contract sorted and everything, but he's disappointed with his contribution, the way that he's carried on to get injured this season.
Yeah, he is, and we were talking about he's had quite a couple of knocks this season, and every time he seems to get fit, he picks up a knock, and he was talking about how he's only got 3-4 goals this season, and normally at this stage of his season he's
20s, isn't he?
Yeah, well on his way to 20, if not past it, because that's what he's a goal scorer, and that's what he thrives off. But it's good to see in a way that they're disappointed by that, and there's that urge and that desire to want to get on the score sheet and putting the goals away.
I mean, you can tell from his body language when you watch him in training, he's got the technical ability, he's got it in. He does get disappointed when he hasn't bagged, and it's the sort of player who you want, someone who is just wanting to score goals. Phoenix down the middle here, push down in the back, penalty to Salford. Phoenix through on goal there. Not sure who it was who pushed him, was it Hunter? And the question is who takes it. Sam Walker. It's a yellow card there for Hunter. I think Walker will be the one to step up to take it. He's certainly had his fair share of goals in the last 2 games, but Could this be 5?
Absolutely, it's a penalty, and I just want to see O'Halloran take it so that he can be the defender to get on the score sheet. But I mean, that just came from nothing, and that's really disappointing for Darlington, because, like I say, it has come from nothing. Salford just sort of broken through it with relative ease, but it's been a fifth. A fifth would be really nice.
7 league goals, 5 penalties for Sam Walker. Steps up, left-footed, puts it over the bar there. Remains 4-1. Be a little bit disappointed with that one. Walker will curl it over. Just maybe the adrenaline getting to him a little bit.
Maybe it was a really disappointing effort. Really, he couldn't even hit it on put it on target. But you know, maybe that's just nerves or anxiety setting in. Hopefully, it doesn't have an effect at the end of the game.
Well, 65 minutes gone, still 4-1, and the change is now being rung by both sides. Nick Horton coming on in place of Johnny Hume. I think his number's gone up. So his afternoon's over. Horton, who's the saviour last weekend, is being replaced. I'm sure he'll be gutted to see that one sail over because he'd have wanted that one. So I'll see what Horton can do to Darlington. Brad Barnes also ready to come on. And I think that's going to be Sam Walker's bow. Maybe it's fatigue there that's seen him put it over.
Yeah, I mean, you saw him after he's taken penalties, gone down, sat down on the floor, and you know, maybe a bit of cramp or something setting in. But you know, a disappointing penalty. But like I say, hopefully it won't affect the result too much, and he can be proud of his performance today. He's performed really well.
Cartman is number 15, Harvey Saunders. And number substitution for Salford City, replacing number 7, Jordan Hume, is number 16, Nick Horton, and replacing number 4, Sam Walker.
Right, caught up on subs now, so the other change for Darlington, Nathan Cartman off, Harvey Saunders on, promising young striker for Darlington. Goals is what they need to get back into this one. Maybe that'll be the turning point, hopefully not. And Nathan Cartman doesn't get his statutory goal against Salford. It's about time that he drew a blank against us, to be honest. Mars plays it back all the way to Adam Barlow. That's both sides now use all 3 substitutions. This is how the game is going to play out for the final 23 minutes. Ball's cleared forward. Grant heads it clear. Saunders plays it into the middle. Comes to Beck. Beck with the shot from the edge of the area. Lynch watched it all the way, got down and held it well just off this line there. It's a bit of a snapshot from Beck, but Jay Lynch could quite easily have been unsighted by the amount of bodies between him and the striker there.
Yeah, it was a good, clean strike along the ground, and you see those sometimes sneak into the bottom corner. But you know, Lynch was well watched, and you know, a second shot for Darlington, I make it. So they've limited them.
Well, it's the first action of the half, really, for Darlington. It's all been about Salford. Leon Scott now trying to burst through the middle. So now on the left-hand side, Ferguson. Josh Hanwinter, bad though, plays over the top for Richie Allen, tries to take it past Gary Brown, just stuck a leg out last minute. And Leon Scott turns past the middle, he's got Richie Allen on him. Allen dispossessed him as well there. Good work from Richie in the middle. Knocks it down the middle, looking for Phoenix. Got the right side, Phoenix struck it low first side. He got past onto it, but Bartlett was equal to it. He read it his near post and made the save there, but Rich there, like I'm saying, he's putting in the shift.
He just, you know, he's one of those who just loves to play football and loves to be on the pitch, and you can see it as soon as he picks the ball up, he turns and he's straight at the Darlington defenders, and that it's quite an interesting ball he played through into Phoenix, where you did think he was going to play out to Horton going out wide, and played a sort of outside of the foot. Great.
Richie thought he might have taken it himself.
Yeah, possibly, but I think, you know, he saw the great run that Mike Phoenix was making, and it was a lovely ball into him. It's just unfortunate that you know, Bartlett was good, you know, met him with it.
It's another free kick for Salford. Leon Scott, it's not really impressive coming on, despite what we said at half time. He's lost out to Rich Allen, giving away another foul, giving away 2 fouls even. And that's really about all the contributions he's made, so I don't think Martin Grell will be too impressed with that change.
No, I mean, he's really failed to get a foothold in the game and keep up to pace with the Salford midfield. You know, they've just been very clever, and when they've won the ball back, they've kept it. They've made intricate passes, and they're frustrating Darlington, and you know that's starting to set in. And that's evident with the fouls that they're giving away, the penalty and the fouls in the midfield.
Lynch placing this one down, ready to take the free kick. We've got 20 minutes to go here at Moor Lane. Salford's leading 4-1 for any of those just joining us. Walker missing a penalty about 5 minutes ago. All the changes have been made. And Salford's still lining up, rather attacking there. Looks like Josh Hines dropped into the midfield. Nick Horton's on the left, Rich Allen's on the right hand side, and Fino's up top. So it's still very much a 4-3-3. And Brad Barnes sitting alongside Norris. It's got to be the highest tally midfield numbers ever. 14, 10 and 11.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you add those numbers up, my maths isn't that good, but it just shows the depth of squad that Salford have got, quality running through, not just the first team, but the squad players as well. So everyone can be proud of their performances, and hopefully they can contribute to another good performance in this second half.
Another free kick in the middle for Salford. Darlington certainly getting frustrated. Barnes standing over it. Actually, Sam's just glad that he's not on free kick duty anymore. Barnes floats it in, Horsfall's offside. Comes off Bartlett anyway, he made the save. Horsfall's got his head in his hands there. He's really got a strike. My voice has really gone here.
That's Carl making fun of me earlier.
He's really got to strike his instincts, hasn't he? He gets himself in the right places in the box.
He does, he's making a really, really strong run into the box there, and it's just a shame that he's better with his head than he is with his feet. Because I think if that had been a header, that would have been another goal for him. I know, obviously, it was offside, but he does carry a really good presence in the box.
Gloucester have equalised at Edgeley Park. Stockport 1, Gloucester 1. Ferguson plays ball into Beck, tries to get it back, comes to Falkingham, and well, maybe Josh Faltingham after that effort. He got it under his feet, got it completely wrong, and didn't really make a clean connection, bobbled that one out of play.
No, I mean, it sort of sums up Darlington's afternoon, really. They've created a pretty decent chance, half chance, but they've just fluffed their lines at the final minute, and it sort of sums them up as a whole today. They've not really appeared as confident as you'd expect a side who are where they are on the table.
Lynch with the clearance. Table position doesn't face Salford here in Moor Lane. Allen nods on looking for Horton. It's won by Mars though, gets out to Ferguson on the near side, closed down by Brad Barnes. Josh Hine even. And that's out for a throw in to Darlington. It's just been the biggest wins have come against teams around the top. 5-0 against Fylde, 3-0 against Kidderminster, and at the moment 4-1 against Darlington, so that really haven't faced Salford. Grant clears it away from Saunders, picked up by Phoenix, tackled by Scott though. Barnes in the middle challenging for it. Horton loses out to Scott, and it's played out to right hand side to Liam Mars on the halfway line now. Tracks back in, plays it into Scott. Scott rolling it into Falkingham, back to Scott. Clears by Grant, getting ahead of Saunders. Phoenix has gone behind Gary Brown here. He's on sides, not really got too much support. Allen's the only man in the middle. If Phoenix can pick him out, cuts back in onto his left foot, Mike Phoenix. Playing it back to Nottingham. Nottingham back down the line, back to Phoenix. Tries to back heel it. He's blocked there by Ferguson. Gets it clear, comes to Beck. Beck playing it out into the path to Josh Gillis. Gillis curls the ball around the referee. Thompson now in the middle. He's got Mars on the overlap. He picks him out. Although Mars is going to have to stretch to get there. Does keep it in. Playing it back to Thompson. Darlington like this little bit of possession. It's how the first goal came about. And as Phil was saying, they play in 10-minute bursts. This seems to be one of those at the moment. Scott leaves it for Thompson. Thompson driving forward now, drills one goalwards. He's wide to the target though, and it will be another goal kick for Salford. Altrincham have squandered the lead. Now Tamworth 2, Altrincham 1. This is their final game in the National League North for now. They've been relegated, but big news for them. Phil Parkinson agreeing to take over the Nantwich manager, and with the resources he's going to get at Altrincham, you wouldn't put it past them to come straight back up.
No, not at all. And I mean, it's just quite a strange situation. They came down to the National League and everyone also straight back down in this one. So I think there's a realisation that they have stuff to sort out, and I think this will be a very sort of big summer and pre-season for them, and there'll be maybe quite a few changes at the club.
Goal kick coming up for Darlington. 15 minutes to go for Salford. Starting to get to the time where you think, okay, might just about do this. Might happen, but you never want to speak too soon. What are your thoughts on how to play the last 15 minutes of this game?
Just go for it. I mean, you want to give the fans an exciting end to the match. I mean, not too exciting that Darlington get back in and it could all change. But, you know, just attacking it and play your best football. The fans it's a great turnout from all the fans here at Moor Lane, and you know they deserve to see some more great football as they have for most of the game.
O'Halloran in the middle, gets it to Norris and back to Nottingham. Nottingham trying to play it down the line. It's won by Gary Brown at the back for Darlington, who's now been made skipper. Comes off Horsfall. And Nottingham heading it on. Norris helping it on. Allen helping it on even further. And eventually Phoenix wins the throw-in off Gary Brown. And you're saying that'll do, getting into those areas. That's where Salford needs to keep playing the game. They played it in the majority in the final 2/3. Darlington have rarely been into the Salford half.
Indeed, I mean, you know, I think that is sort of the best plan, really, is to, you know, keep Darlington pinned back as much as they can, and you know, try and just suffocate them and stop them from getting out. And we're doing quite well at the moment, because when Darlington do win the ball, we seem to win it back quite quickly.
Hines made his way over for this throw-in. Again, it's quite close to the touchline. Comes in, flat, into the middle, headed clear by Darlington. Horton goes for the spectacular. He's got underneath it. He was spinning towards goal, but Bartlett did actually watch his shot into his arms and did well to hold on to that one. And can get it clear. I think you've got to count that as a shot on target, haven't you?
I mean, it didn't intend to be a shot on target. It certainly wasn't until it span away. But you know, it's good to see that the players are trying something new, trying something that maybe they wouldn't if it was 0-0 or 1-0. And you know, if that hit shot cannons into the top right-hand corner, then we all applaud him for it. So I say keep going, keep trying them.
Ball's back at the other end. Lynch gets it clear at the top. Hunter heads it back, comes off Allen. Bartlett comes to punch for it. It comes to Allen though. Bartlett stranded. Richie Allen on the byline, plays it into middle. Norris blocked again by Bartlett. Anywhere but there is just where Bartlett was getting back to. And Norris there, unfortunate not to get his first Salford goal.
I mean, that was just came from nothing. Defender headed back, and Rich Allen was in the right place at the right time to prevent it getting back to the keeper. The Darlington defence hadn't noticed him there, but you know, he should have put it away anywhere but down the middle, low down the middle. He could have put it to the left, put it to the right. No, he puts it straight down the middle, and he's there to save it. But you know, another chance created, and this could be much more than it is right now.
Sounds like it should be a song, that, to the left, to the right, but no, it goes down the middle. Yeah, there might be one somewhere. Maybe that's why we're thinking it.
Well, I don't know what the song is. I know it's going to really annoy me now.
Agadoo.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah. Agadoo. There's a song for Mr. Norris. Lynch clears the ball at field. Hine flicks it on. Nottingham charging forward, takes it well. He went down late there. He was caught by Josh Gillis, so free kick for Salford just outside the edge of the area to the right hand side of the goal. And Gary Brown trying to push Nottingham away. He's got to be careful here. He's on a yellow card. To be fair, he's managed himself quite well.
Yeah, see, we commented on it after he picked up that yellow card and said that he had to last the whole 90 minutes, but he's done very well. He's, you know, he hasn't gone into any rash challenges, made any rash decisions, and you know, I think Michael Nottingham has a reason to be upset there. You know, it was a bit of a nasty foul, tripped him up, but let's hope that they can put this one away and finish with a flourish.
Nick Horton fancies his chances with this one. He's just to the right hand side of the goal, a couple of yards outside the top of the box. Scored an absolute peach in the warm-up. Not from a free kick, mind, it was a rolling ball, but he's certainly got the dip from similar range. Horton does go for it towards far post. It's headed clear, and someone's certainly taken one there. I think it's Chris Hunter. He's just getting back to his feet. And you're saying about Norris hit the washing line earlier. I think he's been taken out there.
Yeah, I think it's, you know, exactly the same situation, just at the other end of the pitch, and obviously went to, you know, get in the way of the ball, but didn't really expect him to smack him straight in the face. But you know, it's good to see, you know, defenders just putting themselves on the line, because that's a difficult ball that Horton's played into the box, because he's not.
Through on the far side, Hine comes in towards the near post. Brown misses it, comes off Hunter, claiming for a handball. Norris goes for a shot from distance, takes the deflection off Brown. And either that's the second own goal or Norris has got his Salford tally going. I'm going to give that to Nozza. He deserves it. He's been fantastic today, and the goal really caps off his afternoon.
And it just compounds Darlington's afternoon a little bit more. I mean, it was just it was a great strike. Hit as sweet as you like, and I couldn't tell from here if it was going in. It looked on target, but take that deflection, completely wrong foot Bartlett, and into an empty net. So that, I mean, Darlington will be very disappointed with the scoreline and the manner of the goals that they've conceded. But Salford are just going to celebrate a little bit further.
Yeah, I think we'll definitely give it to Noz there. He struck it sweetly. It's one of those where, as a midfielder, you do just want to strike it. That perfect ball, absolutely brilliantly, and that's what he's done. It's funny, we were saying to him in his interview a few weeks ago, what's the best goal you've scored, and he was reminiscing about an equaliser for Portsmouth against Southampton. Maybe it's not quite as big as that one, but he certainly struck it sweetly.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a really, really great strike, and like I said about Nick Horton and the other players, they're striking the ball when maybe they wouldn't strike it at 0-0 or 1-0. But they're just trying new things, and it's great to see because it makes the fans happy. There's a lot of applause going around, and it's great to see it, Moor Lane.
Darlington hammers back underway. Nottingham heads out towards his near side. 8 minutes to go. Salford leading 5-1 here. Really is another one of those afternoons. We've really done well to dispatch some of the top teams in this division, and they've just got maybe one, maybe two more to go. Grant tussling in the middle with Mark Beck. Referee's not interested. He's going to let that one go for a goal kick. It was another one of those. It's 6-1, half dozen the other when the defender's got the striker and they're both going for it, so it would have been a very harsh penalty to give.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, you might see it in the Premier League and you still see it down here. I mean, it's a give and take, and if the striker's going to be giving it, the defender's going to be giving it right back. So I mean, they can have no complaints there, and it's not really affected his goal scoring opportunity. It was a difficult ball to take.
Lynch with the goal kick down the middle. Brown gets it clear from Phoenix. Norris, the fifth goal scorer, plays it back forward. Mars plays it back the other way. Grant's back up the other way. Rich Allen picks it up. Salford got numbers forward here. Allen chipping over the top to the right hand side for Hyde, and Ferguson has to take the header. Does get it clear, too far for Gillis, and Norris plays it down on the ground to Nick Horton, gets it back off him. Still going with it, Norris back to Horton. Horton thought about the half volley there. He's tackled from behind by Josh Falkingham, and he's got another free kick in a similar position to that one just a few minutes ago.
Very similar position, and I do kind of think he was waiting for that challenge to come in. He knew the man was coming, and he knew that he'd probably inevitably win the free kick. And that just comes from sort of the frustration that Darlington are feeling, and Salford are doing well to keep the ball at the moment, and they just seemingly can't win it back. So that frustration is just boiling over slightly.
Well, Nick's not going to get this one. Richie fancies it, but it's a little bit maybe too wide of goal. So Allen delivers it into the far post, headed clear by Gary Brown. Plenty of whip on it into the right place, but I think Salford now they're just starting to get a little bit more defensive minded as we go into the final 6.5 minutes here.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to be tired legs out there. They've worked so hard today, and every player deserves a round of applause because they've really worked hard, and the scoreline is probably a fair scoreline. I mean, a bit unlucky for Darlington at times, but Salford's work ethic and has really paid off today, and so tired legs. So maybe we won't see as many whipped in corners as we have recently. Oh, that's a high boot.
Yeah, silly challenge in the middle there by Brad Barnes, high on Mark Beck, very high. Means to even reach Beck's head, it's got to be something, particularly for Barnes, who's a lot shorter. But yeah, free kick to come for Darlington. Brad's escaped any sort of punishment there. Now Falkingham will look to put this one into the area for Darlington. Chips it in, Horsfall heads it clear, comes to Gillis on the edge of the box. Now 5 yards out, is being harassed by Norris. Turns back, crosses the ball back over for Falkingham. Right over Falkingham, who's had to backtrack onto the halfway line on the far side to pick this one up. Plays it down the line, brought down by Saunders, trying to cut back inside of Stephen O'Halloran. using all his experience there to stand his ground against the youngster. Although his clearance drifts out to play for a throw-in. Darlington take it about 15 yards further back from where it went out. But Stephen Thompson has possession. Rich Allen backtracking at the moment, tackles him well. Good defending from Rich Allen there. Gets in the middle into Norris. Salford playing it in dangerous territory. But Grant does get it clear. Allen brings it down on the halfway line. Salford 4-on-3 here. Allen playing out to right hand side. Hines going to chase this one as the sun comes out here at Moor Lane. It's casting those shadows. Nick Horton now taking on Gary Brown. Tries to cut inside Josh Falkingham. It's cut too far. Falkingham's ball's given away back to Horsfall though, who opts to go back to Lynch. Lynch gets the clearance in upfield. Offside against Richie Allen there. And just slowly, this clock's starting to go down. 4 minutes to go. And Salford leading 5-1 here. That penalty miss looks quite insignificant at this point.
Yeah, and I mean, we had hoped it would be at the time, and they've just pushed on a little bit and got a great result. I mean, Salford will be so happy with this, with not just the result but the performance.
Beck flicks the ball on into the middle. No one there to get on the end of it. It comes through to Lynch. Alfreton 3, Nuneaton 3. Latest goals elsewhere as Lynch takes his time to collect the ball. Inviting Saunders in. Brackley 4, Stalybridge 2. Chorley 0, Halifax 1. Curzon 4, Boston 1. Fylde 3, Worcester 2. Kidderminster 3, Bradford 1. 5-1 here at Moor Lane. Stockport 1, Gloucester 1. Tamworth 2, Altrincham 1. 0-0 against Telford and Harrogate. And United and Manchester winning 5-1 against Gainsborough. Gillis over the halfway line now, gives it away to Horsfall. Gets it clear, back over the halfway line. The spin takes it back in Salford's half. O'Halloran intercepts it though, charging forward. Rich Allen tries to lay it back to him. You can see there, that's where he's thinking, right, I'm getting my defender's goal here. But it wasn't speed. Fylde 4, Worcester 2 now. Just scoring late on. I think that's their season wrapped up. They'll fair play, hats off to them. They've struggled a couple of times, but they've always come back from the AFC Fylde have. Whether you say they deserve champions or not, or whether they're expected to win it, but they are champions.
Absolutely, and champions is all that they'll care about. They won't care about the points difference. They won't care about how they've managed it. They have managed it, and it's been a great season for them, and they can be very happy.
On the far side, Horton takes it off his man, but runs into Leon Scott on the halfway line, plays it into Gillis. Gillis now over to the right hand side. Falkingham waiting for it. Comes into his possession, driving into the box, taking on O'Halloran here. Cuts back inside onto his left foot, crosses blocked by O'Halloran. And it's not the best clearance. Comes to Leon Scott. Now Gillis on the edge of the area. Chips the ball out to the right hand side. Stephen Thompson now. Thompson crosses deep into the box, looking to the back post and drifts out to play. Out for a goal kick to Salford. And 2 minutes to go. Darlington just look out of ideas, they look out of steam. Like the season and everything's just taking its toll on them. Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, it has been a long, hard, arduous season for not just Darlington though, but for everyone in the National League North. And you can see that at the end here, tired legs, mistakes starting to creep in, and I think all the players will be happy when this one's over. Salford, because they've earned a playoff position, and
Hine flicks on into Allen. Into the box now. Salford still not done yet. Could this be 6-1? Allen misses the ball though. Tries to take it back off Gary Brown, who clears it across his own box. Falkingham backtracking and eventually getting it clear. O'Halloran on the halfway line. Knocks it back to Simon Grant. A few lads both want to start having to think about man of the match. There's plenty of contenders for this one. Makes a change to not having enough. Gillis plays it back to Brown. Gives it away though to Hine. He'll be searching for a goal, Josh Hine, I'm sure, in the dying stages here at Moor Lane. We're into the last minute. Phoenix goes to the byline, pulls the ball across. Caught comfortably by Bartlett though. And he should get this one clear. We'll see how much out of time it's going to be. But firstly, Jack, your nominations?
For me, it's a toss-up between David Norris, who's been unbelievable in midfield today and really done well to fill the boots of Scott Burton, who's out injured today, and Stephen O'Halloran. I think he's been unbelievable at the back, and I think he's really stepped up today.
Thompson in the middle. Come to Russell in a minute. Norris plays back to Lynch. Gets it clear. Your nominations, Russell?
Again, Norris, he's been just all action in the midfield. It's been a really good performance from him, and he's sort of been the catalyst to to get the set pieces that they've scored from.
Barnes ball to the right hand side, brought down by Phoenix, well battling with David Ferguson to get onto this one, being forced away from goal. Referee checks his watch, blows full-time whistle. Salford City 5, Darlington 1. Full-time score here at Moor Lane. What a fine way to end the regular season. Salford are in the playoffs. Who we're going to play is yet to be decided. We'll find out shortly after full-time. But an incredible performance from the Yammies this afternoon. And I think we're going to agree, David Norris, the man of the match for me, has got his goal, his first goal for the club. Big contribution, he stepped it well in place of Scott Burton. But Russell, what were your thoughts on that one?
Just a really good performance from Salford. You know, the fans, the players, the staff will all be happy with how the performance has gone. You know, it's been maybe not a complete performance, but a really great performance to. What's going on here? Nothing. Really great performance to earn a very hard-earned victory over a very good Darlington side. You know, they're not up there for no reason. They've proved it all season that they're deservingly in the top 6, and Salford very happy.